Fitin10 Nation, it is day 52, 18 days to go. And hopefully you are working at improving, right? Hopefully you're putting one foot in front of the other and you're continuing to put one foot in front of the other, not doing anything that will take you back steps, right? Because there's a lot that you can do that will pull you forward, and there's a lot that you can do that can pull you backwards. Okay? And we see this a lot, and this is why I preach consistency of the right things, not doing short-term extreme, right? It's about doing the less extreme, but then being consistent with it, right? Rather than trying to take 15 steps in one day, we're going to take one step per day, right? But that only works if you're consistent with it, right? I mean, listen, the only way anything will work, especially if you want to maintain it, is to be consistent with it, right? So hopefully you realize that it's not just about doing the good things, right? Because you can do a lot of good things, and you can also do things to roll it back. And then that can become very frustrating because you're like, well, I'm doing all this, everything I'm doing is good, but you're not recognizing the things that might be pulling you back, okay? So you've got to be completely honest with yourself, right? Do's and don'ts, gym etiquette. Do's and don'ts for somebody that doesn't regularly go to the gym. Okay, well, this might seem a bit obvious to you, or maybe not, I don't know. Some do's and don'ts here. Do give people space, okay? Make sure you give people ample space. And I'm not just speaking on behalf of the world situation right now. I'm just talking in generalities, okay? Give people their space. Space is nice. Don't crowd people in the gym. Generally the stuff I'm going to mention here is probably going to be stuff that you would probably find more in bigger box gyms. Don't talk to people during their sets. It's really you just don't do that, okay? You're like, it's like you're focused, right? It's like, imagine sprinting and somebody's trying to have a conversation with you. No, you don't do that, right? It's like you've got to put everything into it. In order to put everything into it, you have to be focused. Body odor, okay? Body odor, please. I really haven't had any issues with this, but we've had some people in the past, and it's really not something I want to approach somebody about. And generally, I won't if it's a one-time thing. But you know, there have been some people that it's been just a repeated issue, and unfortunately, I've had to say something. Right? It's just not an easy topic to approach somebody on. You know, it's just hard to walk over to somebody and be like, "Listen, you stink. You need to do something about that." So, body odor would be another thing, okay? Some other things. Noise making, right? Watch the amount of noise you make in the gym. Some people make a lot of noise. I don't think it's necessary. Again, usually a bigger box gym thing. This really none of this stuff we see, with the exception of maybe body odor. Some people talk during sets too. We don't really see this at Train on Main. All right. There's, I'm sure, some other things I can mention, but we'll leave it there. Okay. More of your questions here. Okay. This is a good one here. All right. So, getting the right amount of macros. Protein especially. Okay, so sorry, let me rewind here a bit. This is under the heading, name something specific you need help with. Getting the right amount of macros. Protein especially. Not clear on how, if I am under my calories. Not clear on how, if I am under my calories and expending 900 to 1,000 calories per day, I am not seeing more weight loss. Unless the fact that I am not hitting my protein calories is preventing me from doing this. I also eat slightly less carbs than prescribed. Okay. All right. Well, if this was the case, okay, if you were actually expending this kind of energy and you had this kind of deficit created, you would certainly lose weight. Okay. But obviously, this is not what's happening. Okay. It's the same thing as saying, I'm putting $100 away every day. and at the end of the week, $700 isn't there. It's just not. I put it there, but it's not there. Okay, you're either not, or somebody's taking it from you or something, right? It's just pure accounting. So, you know, it's not like your body is magically super energy efficient. It's just not the case, okay? There are slight efficiency differences among people, but again, these are slight. And, well, it's possible to have some sort of metabolic issue. You would probably notice it, okay? So like one of the major ones would be like a thyroid condition. But, you know, you're going to notice things like your hair falling out. You're going to be very low in energy. You're probably going to be depressed, these types of things. So, you know, if you had some sort of metabolic issue, it's probably going to spring up in other areas as well. And it's not going to go unnoticed, okay? So what's happening here? There's something going on. Either you're miscalculating or you're sabotaging yourself on certain days. That is, you follow everything really good for a number of days, and then you're having days where you're instituting more food or whatnot. Honestly, I can't say anything more than there's something that's happening that is taking you backwards. Again, this is just, there's not a section or subset of people that have this, you know, impermeability to diet, to you know, low calories, and they just don't lose weight. It doesn't really happen, okay? It can happen. It can happen to people who have some sort of metabolic condition, like I mentioned. But again, there should be clear signs of this, okay? Please explain why being under certain macros might prevent you from losing fat, weight. I'm not clear on this. Okay, so really what we have to look at this is getting the most out of the most, essentially, is what we're looking at. So really what this is it's not to say that if I give you less, you're not going to lose as much. No, you're going to lose more. Of course you're going to lose more. But the thing is how much is being leaked out? Okay, so what do I mean by that? It means that you have a certain amount of energy expenditure per day, okay? All your exercise, you're moving around, your BMR, which is the biggest part of this, all of this stuff adds up to a certain amount of energy going out the door per day. And then you've got energy coming in, right, through your food, okay? Certainly not having less food is not going to somehow make more food coming in. But what it can do over time is if you have this disparity between food going in and a high amount of energy going out, there is an energy gap, right? There's a little energy coming in, there's a lot of energy going out. So there's this gap, right? Let's just use easy numbers. 1,000 calories coming in, let's just say. 2,000 calories going out. There's a 1,000 calorie gap there. Your body doesn't want to just hold this gap. Okay, it will try to do certain things to lower that. Now, part of that is loss in mass, right? Loss in muscle mass, loss in fat mass. It's going to start to lose some of these things. So certainly this is part of it, and we want to lose some fat mass. So this is part of this is a good thing. We're losing fat mass. We don't need as much energy to sustain that. We don't want to lose muscle mass, of course. That is going to be more likely with the larger gap in energy, which is what we don't want to do. But also, there will be certain little efficiencies that your body will down-regulate, okay? For example, it can down-regulate the amount of, for example, thyroid production in the body, okay? So your BMR just won't be quite as high. You're not gonna see a massive difference, but you're gonna see some difference, okay? So why do we want to have the calories higher? Not super high, but higher, because we wanna have a small deficit. So we don't let anything leak out, right? We want to get the most out of the most. We want to lose the most with the least amount of change. Okay. Again, we start to increase that gap. Yep, you're going to see more weight loss, but you're going to be losing some inefficiency out of that. We want the body to be inefficient. We don't want to lose inefficiency. We want the body to be inefficient with energy expenditure. Inefficient. We want it to burn lots of energy, right? We don't want to do things to lower the inefficiency. Okay, and one way to do that is to go long term with a big gap. Okay, so we don't want to do that. So it's not that eating more will make you lose more. It's that we don't want to lose the inefficiencies. Now, hopefully I explained that and you understand that. Okay? All right, message of the day. I got to get going here because I got a class to teach. Message of the day. There are no losses, there are only lessons. There are no losses, there are only lessons. You cannot lose in trying and keeping on in that act of trying, right? You've got to accept that and understand that just because maybe you're not getting what you think you should be getting, that doesn't mean that you should give up, right? So you could look at it as loss. I don't look at it as losses. I just look at it as it's just the road that you go down, and this is what happens. Okay, so you have to look at how you can improve, what you can do to make these losses less occurring, or to improve upon these losses, if you want to call them losses. Well, in fact, this is why the message is they're only lessons, right? It's all about lessons. All right? So, positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself, and for the love of God, give some gratitude. I'll talk to you all very soon. See you guys.